Welcome back to another episode of Tours and Pours by Make It Happen Multifamily. We're here in the beautiful historic neighborhood of Soulard in St. Louis, going to be touring this amazing property behind us. It's a brand new development, mixed use property built by a local real estate developer here in St. Louis. We're gonna learn firsthand from him how he started with this project, how he was able to utilize tax abatements in order to be able to make the project work, and so much more. Tune in, I'm really excited to show you this property. We are here today in Soulard's historic neighborhood in another brand new development with the developer himself, Charlie Closser.
Nice to meet everybody.
So Charlie completed the construction of this property, tore down an old building and started from scratch. Tell us a little bit about that.
So what ended up happening was we ended up purchasing the lot from a guy who held on to it for about 30 or 40 years. And then from there, we went through the process with the city and we had to get with investors, the bank and everything else like that, put together a pro forma, then work with the city, the agency, and everything else like that. And here we are.
How many units are in this particular complex?
This is 18 units over 5,000 square feet of commercial.
So it's mixed use on the ground floor and then 18 residential apartments up above.
Correct. It's an even split between single bedroom and two bedroom units. They vary between 650 square feet for the single bedroom and 900 square feet for the two bedrooms.
So you utilized a tax abatement on the development of this property. Tell us more about that.
So the legal fees were roughly around 20 grand.
Okay.
And then from there was some, situations with the older person and everything else like that in the neighborhood where we did fund a few things here and there because we want to be good partners.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think we end up with 10 years at 95%.
Fantastic.
And I think that it's probably going to equal out, and don't quote me on this, somewhere in the range between 400 and 500,000.
So you saved in for the life of the 10-year period between 400,000 and 500,000 in predictable expense on the development of this property. Why would a city give you that money? Does it make sense for them to do that?
Well, because they were collecting $1,000 on the lot.
Uh-huh.
When we're done, they're gonna, in today's value, I don't know what it will be in 10 years, it will be roughly around $65,000 annual.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
Not to mention all the city and earnings tax that they get from the people that live here, plus the sales tax on the mixed use.
This is why we have the Make It Happen Multifamily YouTube page, is to learn from real estate investors like yourself wonderful creative ways to be able to maximize their business. So I can't tell you how excited I am to show the audience your great work here at 1001 Russell. So Charlie, I love what you've done with your common area spaces. It's so modern and updated. The color schemes are awesome. But one thing that's confusing me is why are there all these doors? There's extra doors up here in the hallway. What's that all about?
So me as the landlord, whether I was gonna keep the building long-term, which is the plan, I don't wanna intrude onto my tenant space, right? Because nobody likes when the landlord enters their space.
Yeah.
So what we have here is there's a furnace, water heater, everything that we need to service is outside, and we never have to come in and intrude on the tenant.
Little things go a long way.
Exactly.
And I love that. So we change air conditioning filters every 90 days, and we wouldn't have to go into the tenant's unit to do that. That's a wonderful thing.
We do it every 30 days because that's what I demand.
I love this space. This apartment is wide open and spacious, completely updated, has everything a tenant would want. Tell us more about what you've done here, Charlie.
So when we designed it, we designed the two bedroom units with the ideal that it could be a couple with a working space from home, or it could be maybe roommates. Maybe they're in college, maybe post-college, something like that, but lots of flexibility. And from there, we really wanted to make sure that they had all the amenities that they could have in terms of fiber optics and everything. But What was really important was not that the apartment was just spaces, but it looks good because this is where you're living. This apartment, for example, is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath unit. So we have a master suite, walk-in closets, a shared bathroom on this side. And then obviously this kitchen is a lot larger than maybe what you would get
it's huge.
in typical units in Soulard.
You wouldn't know that you're in a neighborhood that was mostly built in pre-1900. I mean, this is amazing. It's brand new, high ceilings, completely modern, everything any tenant would ever want to hope for. How much does this apartment go for?
I think we're at like $1,900 a month.
$1,900 a month. How big, how many square feet are the 2 beds?
It's roughly 900 or so, 950 square feet.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you're at about $2 a square per month. And it's in an amazing location. Let's check out some more spaces in the property. I'm really excited. So one of the wonderful aspects of this particular property from my view is the fact that it's a mixed use property. We are in one of your retail spaces that you have in this property. Tell us what it's like to have retail and or office space incorporated into your development.
Retail definitely adds an amenity for the people above. However, with that being stated, when you do a development or a mixed use development, you need to make sure that the retail is sort of the cherry on top of the whipped cream on the sundae. So it would have made sense if we would have done 100% residential here. When I initially did a concept, I could have got 40 units over parking. It would have been what they call a platform with wood frame construction. But my investor and partner at the time really wanted to do something that he felt was great for the neighborhood. So did I because of my background. So we didn't know that retail could lead to some trouble or some challenges.
How much do you charge? How much is your market rent for this space?
So because this space where we are, because we're in the city, we're at $15 a square foot plus triple net.
Okay.
And I think the triple net ends up equaling roughly around $3 a square foot plus or minus.
So it's like $18 a square all in.
Yeah.
Annually. So
Annually, yeah. So what you would do is you would take the full square footage. So for example, we're around 1,400 square foot here. Do it, multiply it by 18, and that is about what the full rent would be, and then you divide it monthly. But the CAMs, common area maintenance, triple net, or whatever you want to call it, would come in really kind of at the end of the year, or we can do it quarterly, but that's all negotiated by the lease and the broker.
Everything goes in the lease. So $18 a square foot all in, including triple nets for a space in your building. Do you have any other spaces available?
We do, and that space is a little bit more raw. We still need to do a little bit additional build out. So we would likely include TI in that budget. Do you want to come see it?
Let's go check it out. All right, what an amazing space. Extremely high ceilings, open. What is your, I mean, obviously there's no tenant in here yet. What is your dream for this? What do you think this is gonna become?
I mean, what I would love to happen is anything that would be great for the neighborhood. We could subdivide this into another space or two. Maybe something like more of a destination, maybe a Edward Jones, or maybe a small architect, or maybe, you know, we could do some sort of innovative office, but I'm not gonna be the one that develops that.
No.
So
the goal for real estate developers is to find another business partner who has their vision for your space, you know, a gym or some sort of like, what's the Orange Theory? Like that kind of thing would be pretty cool in here.
100%.
Like imagine that, you know, beautiful people exercising, big high ceilings, open windows, what would it not? Why wouldn't you want to do it?
The other side is this, right? As a developer, think of it like this, right? You own a building. Now your building is known as the cookie shop or this or that, and everyone knows the location based upon the business and the brand that's around it.
I'm really excited for you to be able to find an amazing tenant to take over this huge, amazing space right in the center of Soulard. I know you're gonna find someone who's gonna change the landscape of the entire neighborhood.